Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. All right, Browns fans, there's some serious news coming out about Deshaun Watson, and I know it's got a lot of us on edge. We've been waiting for him to get back on the field after that tough Achilles injury, and now it looks like we're inching closer to seeing our star quarterback suit up again. But man, it's been a long road, and there's still some hurdles before we get that full return to the lineup. Watson has been sidelined for over a year now, ever since he initially ruptured his Achilles last season. That injury was a huge blow, not only because of the severity but also because of the timing, coming right before what was supposed to be a big chapter for him and the Browns. Things took a turn in January when Watson suffered a setback, and that setback required a second surgery. That's never easy, your top guy working hard in rehab only to take a step back. But the good news, Deshaun has been making some serious progress. The Browns, along with their medical team, have been cautiously optimistic, but they've been clear that he won't be rushing back anytime soon. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, when asked about Watson's return plans on Monday, seemed a little more unsure than he has been in recent weeks. Usually he'd say, he's making progress, but this time he hesitated. Instead, he said, I'm not sure if that's what we're doing, which tells us the team is playing it safe and waiting for the right moment. Now, Browns insider Mary Kay Cabot from Cleveland confirmed that Watson won't be practicing this week. That's a bit disappointing, but it's not unexpected. Remember, the Browns aren't rushing him back, especially after a setback like that. According to her sources, Watson is still doing everything he can to get healthy, but the team isn't opening his 21-day practice window just yet. Instead, they're planning to wait until at least week 12, possibly against the Las Vegas Raiders, to designate him for return from the reserve physically unable to perform list. That's the timeline they're working with right now, and it's all about making sure he's fully recovered before putting him back on the field. When Watson finally gets medically cleared, the Browns will have the option to activate him during that 21-day window. That means at any point within those 3 weeks, they can bring him back onto the 53-man roster. But if he doesn't make it through that window, well, he'll stay on the reserve list for the rest of the season, and we'll have to wait until next year to see him in action. It's all about patience and caution, something Browns fans know well after all these injuries and setbacks. But here's where things get interesting. Even when Watson is healthy and ready to go, how will he fit into the quarterback picture? Right now, Dillon Gabriel is leading the team, and he's got the start for this week's game against the Baltimore Ravens. Gabriel's been thrown into the fire, and honestly, he's struggled a bit, going 1-4 in his 5 starts this season, passing for just 869 yards with 7 touchdowns and 2 picks. Not exactly the numbers we were hoping for, but at the same time, he's still learning and trying to find his rhythm. Stefanski has expressed confidence in him, saying they're going to stick with Gabriel against the Ravens, even though some fans are already calling for a change, or at least hoping Watson can come back soon. Stefanski, ever the coach, has acknowledged that Gabriel can play better, and that the team can do better around him. But he's also emphasizing that they're going to trust their young quarterback to keep fighting and improving day by day. That's the kind of resilience we want to see. Because let's face it, Browns fans, Gabriel is still raw but has potential, and we need to give him time to grow. Still, the big question remains. Once Watson is back, how will the Browns handle the quarterback rotation? Will they go back to Watson as the starter right away? Or will they give Gabriel a shot to prove himself? That's a question that's on everyone's mind, and right now, the team is playing it cautious. They're not rushing Watson back just to have him sit on the bench. His health is the priority. Watson's work ethic during this recovery process has been clear. Even without speaking much to the media this season, he's been documenting his progress on social media, showing fans that he's working tirelessly in the gym, doing box jumps, and going through all the exercises prescribed for his rehab. Browns quarterbacks coach Bill Musgrave has also spoken highly of Watson's mindset, saying he's constantly working hard, doing everything he can to get back. From the weight room to throwing passes, Watson's dedication is undeniable. And on top of that, he's been serving as a mentor to the young quarterbacks on the roster, namely Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. His presence on the sideline, especially during practices and meetings, is invaluable, not just for his own rehab, but also for the development of the team's future signal callers. It's worth noting that Watson's absence has been felt in many ways. The Browns' offense has struggled at times, especially through the air. Without Watson's playmaking ability, the team has been relying heavily on their run game and their defense to keep them in games. Nick Chubb's injury was a huge blow earlier in the season, and now, without Watson, the offense has had to find new ways to score, which hasn't always been easy. The potential return of Watson could be a game-changer, especially as we head into the second half of the season. Our division rivals are already starting to feel the pressure, knowing that Cleveland's offense could be much more dynamic with Watson back in the fold. Looking at Watson's career, he's always been a player capable of making spectacular plays, with the ability to extend plays and deliver clutch throws under pressure. His presence elevates the entire Browns offense, and fans are eager to see that version of him again. But patience is key. The Browns are being cautious, making sure he's 100% healthy before throwing him into the fire. That's the smart move, especially given how critical the quarterback position is in today's NFL. No one wants to see him come back prematurely and risk another setback, because that would only set the team back further. As we look ahead, the Browns are focused on finishing the season strong. The AFC North is stacked with talented teams: Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, and every game counts. We need our full roster, especially our starting quarterback, to make that push for the playoffs. The hope is that Watson will be back soon enough to make a real difference, not just in terms of the standings, but also in terms of morale. Fans are already imagining the plays he could make, the leadership he brings, and the spark that could ignite our offense during the critical stretch of the season. In the meantime, we've got to support Gabriel, trust in Stefanski's game plan, and stay patient. We know the Browns have a talented roster, and with the right health and a bit of luck, this team can still contend. The defense has been solid, and the running game, led by Jerome Ford and others, has kept us in many games. But we all know that having Deshaun Watson back at full strength would be the ultimate boost. His leadership, experience, and playmaking are exactly what this team needs to take the next step toward playoff success, and who knows, another Super Bowl run. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this update? Do you think Watson will be back sooner rather than later? Are you confident in Gabriel's ability to lead the team through these tough games? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.